Hey everybody, today I'm going to make a different sort of video than the IT stuff that I normally post. This is going to be a review of my 2022 Toyota Tacoma. If I had to sum this vehicle up in 2 words, they would be shit bucket. And this is by far the most disappointing, overrated vehicle I've ever owned in my life, and I've owned a number of different vehicles, SUVs, sedans, sports cars, and trucks. So, fairly good basis for comparison. But my main points of why I don't like this vehicle are the engine and the transmission. To do a brief comparison, the current Tacomas are about the same size as the Tundras were back in the early 2000s. The vast difference is that a lot of these Tacomas now come with 4-cylinder engines, or if you are lucky, you can get a V6. Well, the Tundras back in the day had V8s. They were small block, but man, they had enough power. Those trucks moved. There were no issues. This truck, 270 horsepower for 4,000 plus pounds, whatever. It's just not enough. Could be to do with the fact that the transmission is constantly shifting gears. Just all the time. If you keep your foot in one place on the pedal, it doesn't adapt. And I've had other vehicles that you can just kind of set and forget what you're doing, everything's fine. But a lot of times this will be going up like a steady incline, and it won't increase the acceleration. You can press the pedal down sometimes 3/4 of the way to the floor before you get any response. Well, and if you're doing that, trying to be slow with it, a lot of times what you'll get in response is you'll hit this threshold with the pedal that'll just force a downshift of multiple gears. So when you do this, the truck tends to really give you that kind of kick. If you've ever driven a manual and you miss the wrong gear or you downshift too early, you kind of get that lurching movement. That's what this does to a pretty heavy degree. And the big thing is, when these gear shifts happen, they are not quick. There's a good lag time between shifting gears, like just twice, right there within about a 2-second period, that it just takes a while to respond. There have been times where I'm literally just trying to cross the street or pull out of a neighborhood. There's nobody really around me, but there are cars coming, and I'm trying to just get across the damn street, and the fucker will not go. It's insanely annoying because it's very inconsistent too. Some days this thing drives wonderfully well, and I drive the same route very often. It's like a different story every time. So the other issue too is, so you can kick it over into the manual shifting mode. Well, doing this made me realize that the car is always starting you. Like, if you put it from neutral to drive, it puts the truck in 4th gear. Okay, well, that explains a lot why if you need to take off and you don't go anywhere, 4th gear isn't meant to be a starting gear. So when you need to hit the gas then and you're at 0 momentum, that gives that extra jerking motion that I was talking about. So back to the sports shift is, so you're in this mode and you're accelerating. Well, let's just say you're in 3rd gear and you're reasonably trying to, goddamn, I hate this thing. So you're trying to, just keep it there because traffic's moving or whatnot and you don't want it to shift. Well, tough shit. It will automatically shift you even if you're in the manual sports shift mode. Never had another vehicle with that option to do this. I tested this. It's not just 3rd gear, it can be any of them. And it not just upshifts, knocks you out of what you're in. It's not like a timeout. It'll downshift too. So I don't like the fact that I have no control over this. So biggest gripe is this engine, for this size of truck, with the transmission, something needs to be done. I don't know if it needs a low RPM turbo. I'm not a fan. So let's move on to some other things. The electronics, they're okay, but this day and age, if I can Bluetooth my Google Maps onto somebody else's vehicles, Android Auto, really would like to be able to do that here. Having to plug in a cable to one single USB port that is in a horribly inconvenient spot right next to the cup holders in the front, so you bump the damn thing, it disconnects. It's just annoying. Like, it could have been done so much better. Let's move on to the always defaulted on radar adaptive cruise control. If you don't know what that is, it's one of those advanced safety features that if you get behind somebody with your cruise on, there's a field of radar vision that you can dial up or down for proximity to the vehicle in front of you, where you will slow down to match their speed. I don't like this. I don't like being behind assholes that can't go the speed limit. So If I have a constant speed on, I may get up on their ass before I move, but that's my choice. I do not like the fact that this car defaults it to that setting, which, if you're unaware, in most Toyotas, you can disable that by holding in the cruise control button for about 5 or 6 seconds, and then it will say set constant speed. So that's your traditional cruise control. Next thing, lane departure warning. Very glad I can turn that off. That would drive me batshit. And then let's get to the all the alerts and the beeping and the braking warnings that it gives you. So, for whatever reason, and I've yet to be able to like routinely do this on command, but there will be times where I'll have somebody a good ways in front of me and something trips the sensor, the car thinks I'm about to have a collision, and it'll just start beeping at a very high volume and just flashing the word brake on my dash. Well, that's cool. What I want to do if I'm about to potentially be up somebody's ass is have to take my eyes off the road and look and see what the fuck is beeping at me. So, I don't know, sometimes it does this, sometimes it doesn't. I've yet to find 2 situations that are identical. I will say I'm very glad that it doesn't apply brake pressure for me. I've been in vehicles that do that and damn near gotten killed by one. So, let's see, what else? If you want bells and whistles on this, even the TRD Pro models, like, you can't get a heads-up display, you can't get a lot of other nice, modern amenities. I mean, let's put it this way, I'm not paying for anything special here. My model is it's one of the lower end. It's a 6-cylinder 4x4 crew cab, 5-foot whatever inch bed. I don't know if it's an SR model or what. It doesn't really seem to make that much of a difference because there aren't any major configurable differences between the other models from what I can tell, aside from the TRD packages. So, I mean, let's put it this way. I don't have mirrors on my drop-down visors. Not that I really care so much, but just not there. If I could go to any positives, I mean, the size of the vehicle is great. It's just very underpowered. The storage capacity under the back seat, that's okay. That's not bad. Yeah, that's really it. Looks nice, but again, 2 words: shit bucket. Let's see, price point on these. So, okay, they do hold their resale value, resale value is pretty good. That's really what I'm looking forward to, because as soon as I'm in a 2-year lease on this, because at the time Toyota had better lease deals than financing it. So as soon as I can get out from under this, I am going to, because many days this thing frustrates me so much as a daily driver that I want to just pull over to the side of the road, shoot it until I'm out of ammo, and then set the fucker on fire. So I'm not really a gearhead, so I'm sure a lot of people may have opinions on this that differ with mine based on different standpoints. I don't really care. This is just my personal opinion. I'm not a complete idiot when it comes to vehicles. I do have a video repairing my former Corvette that I used to own, so you can check that out too if you want. So anyway, in short, would I buy one of these? Would I recommend one of these? I really wouldn't. I think there are so many other vehicles that I've now been in since getting this, which when I got this, there was still a big supply crunch as a result of COVID. So my options were limited. The Dodge Ram, or I'm sorry, not Dodge Ram, but the Ram Rebel that I had on order for many years has yet to be fulfilled, because the down payment option and the price point on it at the time was about $30,000 lower than they are now. COVID happened, that order is yet to be fulfilled, so I needed something as a holdover. So, in short, not a big fan, a lot of shifting issues, it's just a constant annoyance. And, used to test drive these back in the day before getting one, and I decided ultimately not to because of the same issues I'm having now. It's a very bumpy ride, whether you have a 2-wheel model or a 4-wheel model. The 4x4 is something that I do use fairly routinely because I do live in northern Colorado. Rain, snow, ice, and there's just some really cool areas to go off-roading. So 4-high, it works okay. Sometimes takes a little bit to bump out of gear, but 4-low, can't really speak to that. Never had an opportunity to use a crawl function or anything like that. So take this as you will, but I have another short video that I made this morning about this thing because of how much I fucking hated it, just trying to get to 30 miles an hour out of my neighborhood. So if you want to, give that a watch, leave me a comment. If you think I'm an idiot, leave me a thumbs up if you like this, and have a good one.